Hello and welcome to Brodual. We've just finished our first unmodded playthrough of Fallout 4. So we thought what 7 or so mods could work as a nice base to build on for the first modded playthrough. We don't want them to add anything too dramatic, but to simply just expand on or improve several aspects of the vanilla game. Well, after some digging around and testing, here are 7 mods that we think everyone should at least consider for their very first modded playthrough of Fallout 4. Let's start things off with Armorsmith Extended. It aims to flesh out armorsmithing with the introduction of several new features that give you much more control over what you wear. First, every outfit in the game can now be worn under any armor pieces, and all armor pieces should now show up when equipped. That gives you the ability to truly customize your character's appearance, getting the look that you want down to a T. Every hat and helmet in the game that doesn't cover your face can now also be worn with bandanas and gas masks, expanding on the idea of giving you more control of what your character looks like. All clothing items are now moddable and renameable. On top of that, the entire clothing modding system has been redone from scratch. There are now 5 different types of mods: lining mods, outfit add-ons, headgear add-ons, glove mods, and eyewear mods. So whatever mods are available for a specific item now depends on which of these 5 categories the item falls into. There are also new craftable armor pieces, from custom dogmeat armors to new harnesses for your weapons so you can wear them in different ways on your body. All of these can be crafted through a new workbench that you can find in the settlement building menu. And finally, the mod also optimizes the usage of vanilla clothing slots. This frees up extra space for any other individual armor mods that you might want to install. The mod is also fully compatible with the item sorting and legendary modification mods, both of which may be useful for some of you. Overall, this is a great mod that really fleshes out and organizes the armor equipping and modding system in Fallout. The next mod we have for you is NewDialog. This is a mod that opens up dialogue in Fallout 4, so it's similar to previous Bethesda titles like Skyrim, Fallout 3 or New Vegas. In the base game, when you talk to an NPC, you'll have a choice between 4 replies, usually each of them being a generic 1 or 2 word statement depending on the situation. But with NewDialog, you'll be able to see exactly what your character will say, getting rid of the annoying guesswork that you had to do in vanilla. The mod is very customizable as well, allowing you to change the way the text is presented to you. So you can add things like a border or choose whether you want a background for the dialogue window. On top of that, you can even change the position of where the replies will be. In vanilla, the 4 options always show up in the same order, but with the mod you can choose where each of the responses will be on the list. So where the sarcastic reply would always be second on the list, you can now have it appear anywhere. We really think it's a big improvement and it changes the way you interact with NPCs. Even if you prefer the way it is in vanilla, it's still worth mixing things up for your modded playthrough. The third mod that we recommend is Darker Nights. Anyone who's familiar with Skyrim modding is well aware of the plethora of mods that make dark areas darker, as well as the advantages it gives to the overall aesthetic of your game. Darker Nights, in a similar vein, attempts to give Fallout a darker feel without making it difficult to find your way around, even at night. As you can see on screen, the mod will change both indoor and outdoor light throughout the day, so you'll have to make more of an effort to keep your surroundings bright. Along with generally making each phase of night a little darker, you've also got a few options when it comes to the additional plugins too. There's one that adjusts NPCs' abilities to detect you in low light conditions, making things more realistic when compared to vanilla. There's also a new type of night vision for you to play around with in the New Darkness, but the mod author recommends you install his other mod, Alternate Vision, which gives you even more options when it comes to seeing in the dark. This seems like a simple mod, but it really changes how you play. You'll build settlements with more effective lighting, and that torch on your Pip-Boy is finally useful. In a post-apocalyptic world, it simply makes sense that it will get very dark at night, and that's why it's on our list. Settlement building is a huge part of Fallout 4, so next up we have a couple of must-have building mods. The OCDecorator is the ultimate decorating mod. It makes it so you can transfer any movable item into its static equivalent. If you've ever tried to place things around your home or settlement, then you know exactly how finicky it is. Never mind the fact that just bumping into them will cause everything to go flying. What's the point in building a shelf if you can't realistically store anything on it? Well, with the OCDecorator, not only will you have much more control over the items and placing them, but once you place them, they're there to stay. The mod will work with any item that you can pick up, so there's a huge list to choose from. It's incredibly easy to use. You simply transfer the item that you want to place using the new OCDecorator menu in the settlement window, and once that's done, you place it just like any other settlement item. You can remove them at any time by either scrapping it to receive your original item or by storing it in your workshop inventory. This is a must-have for anyone who, like us, lacks the patience when it comes to placing those finishing touches around your settlement. The second mod is in a similar vein, although really we'd consider it to be more of a bug fix. In vanilla, if you've ever tried to place fences or walls, then you know exactly how tiresome it can be. The real issue comes when you try to place 2 pieces of fence or wall together without them clipping, or having big ugly gaps. The simple intersection mod fixes that by letting fences and walls slightly overlap each other, making them much easier to place. This saves you a whole bunch of time and you'll get a much more aesthetically pleasing settlement to boot. All in all, it's a simple mod, but a must have for building an enclosed settlement. Another mod we recommend is Craftable Ammo. Crafting in Fallout 4 was improved in a lot of ways, but this is another feature from previous Fallout games that we really liked. The mod does exactly what you'd expect it to, and you can now craft nearly all types of ammo at the chemistry workstation. The mod is balanced in a way that early on you'll probably still have to rely on looting ammo, but as you make your way into the mid game you should be able to fully craft any ammo you need. The recipes are balanced pretty well, and some of the late game ammo also requires certain perks. Running out of ammo is one of the most annoying things that can happen in the Wasteland, so this mod fixes that. It's also great if you're playing a more niche build, where maybe your character only uses a single type of weapon. Overall, it works well and does exactly what it's set out to do. And finally, our last mod is one we've already covered, True Storms. This is a great example of a weather mod that expands on and improves several aspects of the vanilla weather system. From visuals to sound, the mod offers a wider spectrum for the game to choose from. It offers more of a dramatic visual experience during storms, as well as new sounds and a new method for random and unpredictable playback. The mod is also very customizable, allowing you to change how loud storms are, as well as an additional plugin for darker nights. So using both of the mods together is a great way to enhance the in-game weather. As well as that, there's also a file to change when the sun sets and rises, making the day quite a bit shorter. The sun will set a lot earlier and it'll be pitch black around 9 PM instead of midnight as it is in vanilla. Overall, a great weather mod that really does work well with darker nights. And that's it for our list of mods for your first Fallout 4 modded playthrough. Once you have these, you don't have to stop there, there's already thousands of other mods to choose from. If you're fond of any others, then be sure to share them in the comments down below. That's all for now, remember to check out g2a.com for some cheap games, and thanks for watching.